ありがとうございます。
We won. What? One, two.
Inoue, I'm proud of him. He's from Japan in Asia.
Your prediction, how does the fight end? Manny Pacquiao Barrios. Decision or knockout?
Oh, I think a knockout. I think
For
a
Manny?
knockout. Yeah, and I'm not just saying that because
What round?
I'll probably say mid, like late, probably 8 to 10. I'll say
Later
8
in
to
the
10. I'll
fight?
give that gap day.
Naoya Inoue recently visited Manny Pacquiao's training camp as Pacquiao gears up for his fight against Mario Barrios. Pacquiao praised Inoue's remarkable accomplishments and noted that Inoue's fighting style reminds him of his own in his younger days. He commended Inoue's discipline, speed, and skill, expressing pride in all that Inoue has achieved and recognizing him as a true representative of elite boxing.
He's from Japan in Asia, in our place. So his style is like when I was young, like 15, like when I was 115, 122, 115. Inoue is he can fight in different division. If you want my advice how to do what to do, I can give him advice.
You can get him to 8 divisions.
I don't know. 8 division is hard to talk.
Manny Pacquiao recently told the media that he ranks Naoya Inoue above Gervonta Davis, emphasizing that Inoue's blistering speed is the key factor. Pacquiao highlighted that in modern boxing, velocity and lightning-fast reflexes are crucial, and Inoue perfectly embodies these traits. He praised the Japanese star's ability to unleash combinations so rapidly that opponents find it difficult to respond effectively, reaffirming that athletic speed remains the most decisive path to dominance in the ring.
Inoue.
Why is that? Why doesn't Inoue beat Gervonta if they could have figured out a fight?
Inoue is fast.
Inoue is fast.
In boxing, speed is the key.
Further expanding on his admiration, Pacquiao acknowledged not only Inoue's speed but also his impressive punching power. He expressed confidence that Inoue's well-rounded skill set would give him the edge against Gervonta Davis, emphasizing both his speed and strength. Pacquiao pointed out Inoue's remarkable ability to finish fights in the middle rounds, making it clear just how highly he regards Inoue's talents and why he considers him one of the most complete fighters in boxing today.
Manny Pacquiao was asked who he thought would win against Gervonta Davis versus Naoya Inoue, and he says he fights like I used to. In the media scrum for his shock world title return against Mario Barrios, which I still can't believe is happening. He's 46 years old. I don't know why Mario Barrios signed. Obviously, everyone wants to fight a legend, but like, he's 46. You know what I mean? He could be your dad. But yeah, 8th division world champion Manny Pacquiao was asked to predict what he believes would happen if Davis and Inoue were to face each other at some point in the future. Inoue is fast. Inoue's style is like when I was young. I would definitely have to say not so much similar. I just feel like Pacquiao was a little bit more wilder. Inoue seems to have more compact, tighter punches, if that makes sense. But I can see the similarities in a sense that way. But yeah, I think, I don't know, it's hard. That's a lot of weight to cover. So I don't know who'd win that, honestly. Who do you guys think?
In a candid moment, Pacquiao named Naoya Inoue as his current favorite boxer. He highlighted how Inoue embodies the true spirit of boxing, aggression balanced with movement, in-ring charisma, and calculated precision. Pacquiao explained that Inoue reminds him of himself in his prime during his 20s, constantly in motion and applying relentless pressure through tireless footwork.
To watch boxing now, you're still into it. Do you enjoy watching boxing?
Yeah, because boxing is my passion, so that's why I'm enjoying watching boxing.
Do you have a favorite fighter now that's active?
Right now, Asian, like Naoya,
Inoue, amazing fighter.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, and I hope that he will accomplish in different weight division also.
Yeah, he probably will. Such a quality fight.
As fans eagerly await Manny Pacquiao's July 19th return to the ring against WBC champion Mario Barrios, the Filipino icon is deep into a rigorous training camp with a world title on the line. He has reunited with longtime trainer Freddie Roach and committed to an intense regimen. Whether it's shadow boxing, high-intensity interval drills, or weight training, Pacquiao's focus remains sharp. Insiders report that he isn't returning for a nostalgic farewell, but as a serious contender determined to reclaim his place among boxing's elite. One of Pacquiao's sparring partners recently predicted a decisive 8th-round knockout against Barrios, praising Pacquiao's sustained quickness. Remarkably, he believes Pacquiao still outpaces many opponents in their physical prime. The sparring camp reportedly features high-tempo rounds where Manny's sharp counters and slick footwork keep younger partners on the defensive. This confidence reflects the belief within his camp that speed remains his greatest equalizer.
Not like other fighters are doing right now, you know?
He's faster than any 26-year-old. He runs faster than he's running with a bunch of lions, like young, hungry lions, and he's outpacing. Like today, he ran to a record speed. I drove, he ran, and he got there like 1 minute after me.
Yeah, I just heard he did like an hour 25 minutes running uphill.
And then shadow boxing, then 1,600 sit-ups.
So that's something, you know, that some of us at this age are like, you know, we kind of, you're not seeing people doing that, so it's like
15 and 118. He could have fought 150, 118 on the same day and become a 10. Without giving away the game plan, because you're in the gym with him, obviously. Give me your prediction. How does the fight end? Manny Pacquiao Barrios. Decision or knockout?
Ooh, I think a knockout. I think a knockout. Yeah, and I'm not just saying that because
what round?
I'd probably say late, probably 8 to 10.
Later in the fight?
I'll give that gap, the 8 to 10 gap. I'll say around there. And I'm calling a right hand. I'm calling a right hand. You know,
how hard does he hit?
You know, he's a solid dude. That's what I can say. That's what I can say. He's a solid guy. He's a really solid.
Mario Barrios has responded with determination to the narrative surrounding his age advantage. At 30, he stated he has youth on his side, while openly acknowledging Pacquiao's legendary status, yet refusing to be overshadowed. Barrios emphasized that facing a 46-year-old icon is no soft test, and he plans to challenge Manny in every aspect: speed, stamina, and ringcraft. His confidence reflects a champion unwilling to be intimidated by experience.
30, he's 46, hasn't fought in 4 years. Like, in your mind, how do you see the fight going? How are you going to beat Manny, or what do you see yourself doing to him?
Yeah, no, I just had to use, you know, all of that, you know, like the, you know, as busy as I've been in my career, you know, the attributes I have, you know, the skill set I have, you know, the youth is on my side. So it's my job just to go in there, use all of that again, and just make sure, you know, like I still walk out holding that title. I said, I mean, at the end it's kill or be killed. You know, I know, you know, like if he has been hurt at any point, you know, he's gonna be the same way. Like I said, you know, it's just my job, you know, just to work on everything. Me and my team have been, you know, training and drilling, you know, these last couple weeks, and, you know, finish off these next 6, you know, as best as we can, you know, so I could go in there come fight night and, you know, still retain the title.
All right, guys.
Oscar De La Hoya, who shared a storied rivalry with Pacquiao, praised Manny's decision to face Barrios at this stage of his career. He described the fight as more than just a sporting contest. It reflects the courage to pursue meaningful challenges rather than easy victories. De La Hoya emphasized that Barrios is a credible opponent with a solid track record, highlighting that Pacquiao isn't chasing headlines but aiming to cement his legacy through true competition.
I would ask a simple question. And please, Manny, tell me the truth. Why? That's it. That's it. Why? Why are you coming back? And the warrior that Manny is, he's gonna be like, because I love to fight and I want to fight the best, and I've been watching boring fights and I want to come back and give a show against Barrios, who's a world champion. That's a true legend for you.
Undefeated contender Rolando "Raleigh" Romero added an intriguing layer to the conversation, stating that regardless of the outcome, Pacquiao's status as a legend remains untouchable. Romero even expressed interest in facing Manny in the ring next, suggesting that such a matchup would electrify fans around the world. His comments frame the bout as a symbolic passing of the torch, where a rising star watches a legend with ambition in his eyes.
Which fighters actually fought?
Rolly Pacquiao.
Well, Barrios, do you think he beats Barrios?
No matter if he beats Barrios or not, still Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, bro. Pacquiao another one that don't give a fuck about losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right? Bro, all that undefeated shit, that don't mean shit if you're not fighting nobody. Nobody gives a fuck about you.
Combat analyst Ryan Campbell evaluated Pacquiao's return, noting that even at 46, Manny's speed still outclasses that of many average welterweights. While Campbell acknowledged that Pacquiao may no longer possess the explosive agility of his prime, he emphasized the Filipino icon's refined timing, instinctive footwork, and veteran boxing intelligence.
Younger, the 29-year-old Mario Barrios.
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure. But let's look at a couple things. The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average.
Camp footage and media clips show Pacquiao training with focus and speed, delivering combinations in sharp bursts aimed at refining his technique and rhythm. His footwork, crucial to his signature style, continues to look impressive. At an age when most fighters have long retired, Pacquiao's dedication in camp stands out. Detailed drill work, mid-range combination sequences, defensive parrying, precision punching, and full ring movement reflects an athlete approaching the fight with surgical precision. The training atmosphere is marked not by fading intensity, but by focused, meticulous refinement.
Roger Fernandez. Si Roger Fernandez.
Promoter Frank Warren and pundit Simon Jordan openly criticized the WBC and athletic commissions for allowing a 46-year-old Pacquiao to compete for a world title. Both called the situation unnecessary and warned that it could put Pacquiao's storied legacy at risk. They expressed concern that permitting high-stakes bouts for aging fighters might damage boxing's reputation and argued that it points to weak governance within the sport's sanctioning bodies.
So explaining Frank can speak to it far more eloquently than I can. I think it's a disgraceful decision. I think it's an appalling decision. I mean, the WBC make lots of appalling decisions, and I'm not a big fan of them. But the fact of the matter is Pacquiao is a legend of the sport. I don't know why they want to do it, whether it's the fees that they get as a result of it, or whether it's the publicity. Boxing is in a brilliant position right now because of the Frank Warrens in the world and the relationship that he's developed over the last couple of years with the Saudis that's opened the door for everybody else. We're getting brilliant fights. We don't need to rehash somebody that's forming against a world champion who isn't a great world champion, but that's not the point. The optics of this, the reality of this, there's no necessity for it besides the WBC doing it for, I think, illegitimate reasons.
Why? I mean, Frank, you know the sport inside out. It seems to me, why does boxing always seem to allow for these kind of stories to manifest themselves?
Well, it's not boxing doing it, it's the governing body. I mean, it's their title and they decide who can fight for their title, so that rests with the governing body. I mean, for me, George Foreman came back, but he came back at an old age and won the title at 50 years. He was 50 years of age when he fought. You know, you look at... but
he didn't go straight into a world title fight though, did he, Frank? He built up.
That's the point I was going to make. You know, you come in and you test the water. Go straight in for a world...
In direct interviews, Pacquiao dismissed the idea that financial gain motivated his return, instead revealing an emotional void he felt while away from the sport. He spoke of missing the discipline, the daily grind, and the adrenaline of competition. Framing boxing as a personal calling rather than a commercial pursuit, Pacquiao pointed to his charitable work and public service as proof of where his true priorities lie.
How much of this comeback is about money, if at all?
No, the comeback. The reason why I come back is because I want to. I miss boxing. I mean, I want to be a champion again, and I can still that. In my heart, in my mind, I can still be a champion.
Sebastian Fundora, a rising talent, emphasized that reverence for legends means nothing once the bell rings. He stated that Barrios must fight with confidence, aggression, and strategy to neutralize Pacquiao's aura. For Fundora, it comes down to tactical execution, leveraging youth and athletic conditioning to capitalize on opportunities, regardless of legacy.
I don't know. I haven't seen Pacquiao. Barrios been looking good. Oh, besides that last fight with Ramos, but he's been looking good. He's been using his range real nice. I like Barrios.
If you're in Barrios' shoes, you're fighting like a legend, like a guy you've grown up watching. Is there like a mental process you have to go through to make sure you don't show him too much respect on fight night?
If it was me, I think, I don't know, I just fight him the way I always fight him. No respect in the ring. There's no respect in the ring, you know. But Pacquiao's Pacquiao. Pacquiao's a legend. He's going into Hall of Fame
this year.
Yeah, this year. So next week. But yeah, next week. There we go. In Canastota. So you know, he's always gonna be a legend no matter what. But what you do in the ring is completely different. There's no respect in the ring. Shouldn't be.
Former world champion Ricky Hatton, echoing broader concerns, warned that allowing Pacquiao to return at 46 for a high-profile title fight could set a troubling precedent. Drawing parallels with past comebacks that ended in physical decline, Hatton cautioned that even the greatest athletes risk tarnishing their legacies if they return too late. His remarks highlight fears that the sport, and its fans, could witness the painful erosion of a boxing icon.
Fight for the WBC welterweight title. That's July the 19th in Vegas, ironically. What did you make of that news when you heard it?
Well, it's boxing today, innit? To be honest with you, boxing's, you know, if you can let a 58-year-old Mike Tyson box a Jake Paul, then, you know, Manny Pacquiao going back at 46 doesn't look too bad, does it? But Manny's coming back, though. You know, Tyson was coming back fighting Jake Paul. Manny's coming back fighting for the world title. But, and I say this with love, you know, how has Manny got his world title shot? He's been retired 6 years. He can't. He's got that on a previous successes, hasn't he? You know, to walk straight after being retired so many years ago, straight into a world title fight. How is that allowed possible? Well, I'm sure he must have been dropped out of the rankings when he retired. All of a sudden, he decided to make a comeback. They put him straight in at #1 contender. I think only boxing can answer that.
I think he's got. Did you say fifth, Joe? He's been already placed 5th in the world ranking.
You know, when you've been retired years, and you know, on your previous, he was a hell of a fighter a few years back, but we don't know what he's going to be like today. So you know, you'd like to think he'd have a couple of warm-up fights so we can say, yeah, and then get him in. But boxing these days, I think the money's everything in it.
You fought both, obviously. In your opinion, who's better? Who's tougher?
I think Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I think Floyd Mayweather. I mean, and that sounds rich because he absolutely was probably one of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history, I'd say. You know what I mean? When I see him getting knocked out by Pacquiao on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, it's in the top 10 of the most destructive knockouts of all time.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit past myself back in the day. You know, I'd had one or two. You know, I wasn't a master of defence like Floyd Mayweather. I'd take 4 to get one in sometime.
Fans and industry voices have expressed a mix of nostalgic excitement and genuine concern over Pacquiao's comeback. While many celebrate the return of a legend, others point to cautionary tales, such as Mike Tyson's later years, once glorious comebacks that ultimately ended in disappointment and physical toll.
The fight between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios is now official. July 19th on pay-per-view in Las Vegas. We saw video this week, Sergio, of Manny Pacquiao back at Wildcard, like he's never left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape, but he is 46 years old, going up against a guy that is more than a decade younger than him in Mario Barrios. Bob Arum, in the same interview, he said that he was worried about Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy that promoted Pacquiao for most of his professional career, not promoting this fight against Barrios, but he said he is concerned for Pacquiao going into this fight. Do you have concerns about Pacquiao going in?
No, I don't have concerns. And post a video and look good for 10 seconds right now. Just like when Mike Tyson looked like a killer when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing, I need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone could look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. They'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed. In front of a heavy bag. But whenever you're in front of an opponent and he's going to be moving around, it's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him, because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao is not going to have zero legs. There's a man that made a...
The debate centers on finding the balance between honoring a legend and protecting his health, underscoring just how emotionally invested the boxing world remains in Manny Pacquiao's journey. The upcoming bout goes beyond titles. It's a symbolic clash between boxing's golden era and its rising future. Pacquiao's storied career, spanning championships in 8 divisions, stands in sharp contrast to Barrios' youthful prime. This tension between legacy and ambition fuels a compelling narrative, while also raising ethical concerns about physical disparity and risk. It's a matchup loaded with drama, as fans wait to see whether experience and heart can overcome youth and raw athleticism.
Manny Pacquiao is fighting Mario Barrios for a welterweight championship. And he's 46 years old. I did a whole video about how I think this is really sad, because Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting at 46 years old, because, brain injuries. But if he wins, that can make the welterweight division crazy. If you don't know, the welterweight division has been historically a great one in boxing, but lately has been pretty dead. Boots Ennis is the best guy in it, and one of the reasons you may not have heard of him is because there's no one else for him to really fight in that division, so he just dominates it. Everyone's been talking about how there has been big names in the welterweight division, but now it's getting stacked with big names. Not necessarily the best fighters, but big names that are fun. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao. This division is getting absolutely insane, and Boots Ennis has a chance to run through it. Because honestly, I don't think any of those guys are better than him, and he will get the credit he deserves. What do you guys think about it?
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next time.